Let's face it, life can be a whirlwind. The hustle and bustle of our daily routines can often leave us feeling overwhelmed and exhausted. It's a constant juggling act between work, family, social commitments, and somehow trying to squeeze in some me time. We find ourselves constantly switching roles, from being a dedicated employee to a loving family member, and then trying to be a good friend. It's no wonder we feel stretched thin. In the midst of it all, maintaining our well-being often takes a back seat. We get so caught up in the daily grind that we forget to take care of ourselves. Our mental and physical health starts to suffer, and we end up feeling drained and unmotivated. We tell ourselves we'll start eating healthier tomorrow, or we'll finally commit to that exercise routine next week. Sound familiar? We've all been there. It's easy to make promises to ourselves, but much harder to follow through when life gets in the way. The good news is, you don't need a complete life overhaul to experience the positive effects of a healthier lifestyle. Small, manageable changes can have a significant impact. Simple actions like choosing a salad over fast food or taking a few minutes to stretch in the morning can set the tone for a better day. It's the small, consistent changes that make a world of difference. Taking a short walk in the park, spending a few minutes journaling your thoughts, or practicing meditation can help you feel more centered and balanced. Over the past week, I challenged myself to incorporate some simple wellness hacks into my own hectic schedule. I started with small steps, like trying yoga at home, meal prepping for the week, and setting up a weekly planner to organize my tasks. My goal was to discover practical ways to boost my well-being without adding more stress to my already full plate. I used a wellness app to track my progress and made time for hobbies that I enjoy. The results? Let's just say I was pleasantly surprised. Not only did I feel more relaxed and energized, but I also found that these small changes were sustainable. They didn't require a lot of time or effort, but they made a big difference in how I felt each day. So, if you're feeling overwhelmed, remember that you don't have to make drastic changes to improve your well-being. Start small, be consistent, and you'll see the benefits. Stress. It's the uninvited guest that just loves to overstay its welcome. It creeps into our lives, often unnoticed at first, and then suddenly, it's everywhere. We all experience stress in different ways, but one thing's for sure, chronic stress can wreak havoc on our mental and physical health. It can lead to headaches, insomnia, and even more serious conditions like heart disease. During my wellness experiment, I made a conscious effort to identify my stress triggers. I started by keeping a journal, noting down moments when I felt particularly overwhelmed. Was it the endless to-do list? The never-ending tasks that seemed to multiply every time I crossed one off? The constant barrage of emails, each one demanding immediate attention, pulling me in different directions? Once I pinpointed the culprits, I could start exploring ways to minimize their impact. I read books, watched videos, and even attended a few workshops on stress management. Deep breathing exercises became my secret weapon. I learned that just a few minutes of focused breathing could reset my mind and body. Just a few minutes of focused breathing worked wonders in calming my frazzled nerves. It was like hitting a reset button, allowing me to approach my tasks with a clearer mind. I also rediscovered the power of stepping away from my desk for a quick walk. Sometimes, all it takes is a short break to regain perspective. A change of scenery and a little fresh air can do wonders for a stressed-out mind. Nature has a way of soothing our senses and reminding us of the bigger picture. Incorporating physical activities like yoga and stretching also played a significant role. These activities not only helped in reducing stress, but also improved my overall well-being. Talking to friends and family about my stressors provided emotional support and often a fresh perspective. Sometimes just sharing your worries can lighten the load. I also paid attention to my diet. Eating balanced meals and staying hydrated made a noticeable difference in how I felt throughout the day. Lastly, I made time for hobbies and activities that I love. Whether it was reading a book, painting, or simply listening to music, these moments of joy helped in keeping the stress monster at bay. By making these small but significant changes, I was able to tame the stress monster. It's an ongoing journey, but with the right tools and mindset, it's definitely manageable. We all know that we should be eating a balanced diet, but let's be honest, it's not always easy. Grabbing takeout or opting for convenience foods can be tempting, especially when time is tight. This week, I challenged myself to make small, sustainable changes to my eating habits. I started by swapping out sugary drinks for water or herbal tea. I also made sure to have healthy snacks on hand, like fruits, vegetables, or a handful of nuts. Instead of completely overhauling my diet, I focused on making gradual substitutions. The key is to find healthy options that you actually enjoy. Eating should be a pleasurable experience, not a chore. We've all been there, setting ambitious goals at the start of the week, only to find our motivation fizzling out by Wednesday. It's a common struggle, and it can be incredibly frustrating. Staying motivated can be a challenge, but it's not impossible. The key is to find strategies that work for you and stick with them. One of the most effective ways I've found to stay on track is to break down larger goals into smaller, more manageable steps. This way, each small victory builds momentum. Instead of aiming to hit the gym for an hour every day, I started with a more realistic goal of 20 minutes, 3 times a week. This made it easier to stick to my routine and gradually build up my stamina. Another game changer? Finding an accountability buddy. Knowing that someone else is cheering me on makes a world of difference. It's not just about having someone to share your goals with, but also about having someone who can push you when you feel like giving up. We can share our successes, no matter how small they may seem. Celebrating these moments together can boost our morale and keep us going. Offer support during challenging times, because let's face it, we all have those days when things just don't go as planned. Having someone to talk to can make those tough times a bit easier to handle and keep each other motivated. Whether it's through a quick text, a phone call, or meeting up for a workout session, staying connected with your accountability buddy can keep your motivation levels high. Remember, it's not about perfection, but progress. Every step you take, no matter how small, is a step towards your goal. So find your motivation mojo, break down those goals, and keep pushing forward. You've got this! Section 5. Hydration Heroes. Water is essential for life, we all know that. Yet many of us still struggle to stay properly hydrated throughout the day. During my wellness challenge, I made a conscious effort to increase my water intake. I started my day with a large glass of water and kept a reusable water bottle on hand at all times. To make drinking water more appealing, I experimented with adding slices of fruit or herbs, cucumber, lemon, mint. The possibilities are endless. Not only does this add a touch of flavor, but it also makes staying hydrated feel like less of a chore. Section 6. Mindfulness Minutes. In today's fast-paced world, it's all too easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle. Our minds are constantly racing, jumping from one thought to the next. This is where mindfulness comes in. Mindfulness is all about being present in the moment, without judgment. It's about paying attention to our thoughts, feelings, and sensations without getting swept away by them. During my wellness experiment, I incorporated short mindfulness exercises into my daily routine. I started with just a few minutes each day, focusing on my breath or the sensations in my body. Section 7. The Power of the Pen. Journaling has become increasingly popular in recent years, and for good reason. It's a powerful tool for self-reflection, stress reduction, and personal growth. You don't need to be a writer to keep a journal. Simply jotting down your thoughts and feelings for a few minutes each day can be incredibly beneficial. You can write about your goals, your dreams, your worries, or anything else that comes to mind. I found that journaling before bed helps me to clear my head and unwind after a long day. It's a chance to reflect on the day's events and release any lingering thoughts or emotions. Section 8. Small changes. Big impact. After a week of incorporating these simple wellness hacks into my routine, I can honestly say that I feel like a new person. I have more energy, I'm sleeping better, and I'm better equipped to handle stress. The most important lesson I learned: small changes can make a big impact. You don't need to overhaul your entire life to experience the benefits of a healthier lifestyle. Start by incorporating 1 or 2 small changes at a time and gradually build from there. Section 9. Join the wellness conversation. Wellness is a journey, not a destination. What works for one person may not work for another. It's all about finding what makes you feel your best, physically, mentally, and emotionally. I'd love to hear from you. What are your favorite wellness hacks? Share your tips and tricks in the comments below. Let's inspire each other to live healthier, happier lives. Section 10. Keep the inspiration flowing. Looking for more wellness inspiration? Check out the American Heart Association's website for a wealth of information on healthy living, from recipes to exercise tips to stress management techniques.